I can't believe people get up at this hour in the morning to hear poetry. As long as you're here. I'm going to read from a new book that's coming out in November with Autumn House Press called She Heads into the Wilderness. And this is I'm not going to read this whole sequence, it's 36 poems, but I'll read 30, 31. This is a cycle of sonnets, and I'll just read a few of them. It starts with the retelling of the garden, and I'll end toward, not with the last poem, but with a poem about Darwin. I think we have to be talking about Darwin these days in our completely uneducated country.
Yes.
Where people are running for president and bragging that they don't believe in evolution. I mean, wow. All right. The poem is called Their Eyes Were Opened, and I'll just read a few of these sonnets. Oh, what time is it? Okay. We always ate from that tree. The women with child craved its fruit, sweetest, most red. The way she held it that day and pressed it to her cheek like a pillow, and slowly slid it with her teeth, and ate it while rubbing her sore back against the tree like a horse. Then, many of them rushing her, screaming she was unclean, pushing her into the dirt like a serpent, where she writhed from them, where they taught her right from wrong, and when they were done, they bound and covered her outlaw breasts, her spirit garden below, and they threw the fruit of the tree to the animals and smashed the clay figures, and it went on like that, beyond memory, on and on. Where we lived then, circle, arc of tenderness, a place we could keep moving but never get lost. All that time you didn't hear me, or was it the other way around? Maybe my sky was an eggshell, my God a great bird, my home a nest of spit, ending where I began. It's just another failure like the spider's eggs wrapped in silk blown into the mud. Like obedience, its red slash of loss. Lately, when I'm sleeping, an animal wakes inside me, volcanic at the base of my throat, long-limbed, cramped by my ribs, deep groans, a song inside a song. Changes are coming, my lambs. Start your roaring. I'm just skipping hundreds of these along the way, but you can imagine how rich and wonderful they are. This next one comes from a line in an essay by E.O. Wilson, and the great biologist, and the title of the essay is Humanity Suicidal? And we know the answer to that. Of all the species, this primate broke through, exalted itself, worshipped, knew less, knew more. One word came forth, a machete, axe, bronze spear shot out, such news as rose us up, as hurtled us forward wherever our feet could take us, gleaned the berries, skin hides, pretend to be a fox or a bear or a long, sleek snake. The great voice says, you. The towers say, you. Trains rush from the mouth, you, ships of you. Where's Eden? A place we must not enter. Shroud of forest cover, mist, no cameras. If we wander in by mistake, they have no fear of us and approach us. Dominion was not the first dream. It is not the last. And this is a Paradise poem. If you've ever eaten wild strawberries, you'll understand. The words were ambrosia, a bowl of wild strawberries. You said you knew where some grew and had picked them right in New York City, the size of red tears, vowels of paradise, here in a bowl on the balcony. You said you knew where some grew and they were hidden and wild at the same time in the city. Said you couldn't describe the taste. How lovely. Said you couldn't describe the taste, more like fragrance melting on the tongue, filling your head. You knew where they still grew, hidden though we had a bowl of them, then and there on a balcony overlooking the garden, wild strawberries, small pearls of forgetfulness in another country, above a garden. Just 2 more of these sonnets and then I'll almost be done. This is a winter poem. What I wake to in the layered winter bed and fall back into in the sling of sleep and walk around all day in and out of, beneath the papery skin around my eyes, another life, snow, gray and brittle. The sky sagging so low it might be a rag around my head. Thoughts, cold, sharp, dirty ice crackling at the edge of the walk. Unrest inside, the unseen trying to stir the frozen underworld. I don't say it. The white roots inside me, winter glazed. I don't say it. And even when everything is at risk, sore with longing, I don't say it. And soon it carves a space inside me with its absence. You probably know that Darwin was on the Beagle for 5 years. You may not know that he was seasick for 5 years. Darwin came seasick into paradise, packing the ship with crates of fossils, plants, dead birds, anything he could kill or dig up. 5 years collecting, 10 to sift through it all. And in the brain's bright cell, a viscous humming the terrible doubts. Later, when the favored child died, when she moved through the first wilderness without him, Annie decomposing into chalky layers, no comfort, just hymns of transmutation, songs of barnacles, earthworms, finches, and the lonely tortoise. We are parasites, inside parasites, and some have wings. Annie on shore, as he lurched seasick into paradise. I should say that some of these poems appeared in the Cortland Review, some of those sonnets. And I'll just, 2 short poems from the end of the book. The first one is called The Changing Coat, and it's inspired by and dedicated to the artist Martha Posner, The Changing Coat. When I wake up, heart up my throat, a fear taste, getting ready for the changing skin. Your hat on the knob of the banister tilted, you ask, why are you holding up your head with your hand? I'm tired, stripped down. Maybe I passed one of my deaths getting ready for the changing skin. Sometimes, love, I can be your sister, dead. Come to you in her changing skin, tortoiseshell eyes through gravel and moss. And you can be my brother, dead, saying, I never meant to hurt anyone. We are looking across the table. It's a field, long, spread out, pale. The ground's icy. We're wearing our new coats, and we've passed one or more of our deaths along the way. There's no afterlife. It's the same life. And when we remember that, we pull close our changing coats. We tilt toward each other. The ground is softer than I thought. Our foreheads touch. I'll end with a poem called My Lost Needle. Never had I desire to mend hems or dangling buttons. But tonight, though I can no longer easy aim the frayed end into the eye, though we squint, needle and eye at each other and my hand trembles, yet feels true the needle between my fingers, the tether of thread as I pull it through red linen, just the right turn in my wrist, not too fast, thread rubbing the blouse, repeating, mend, mend, my dearest, hold fast, let me patch you, no one will know. You limp in my hand, my other body. I with my warm, fine instrument, you undone, never whole without me. I would sew till the world around wore patches bright and uneven, sew my childhood back into my bones. I would bind what falls apart. My hand is happy, piercing, rising, circling back, taking me, thou needle, thou red thread, stitch to stitch, my way back, taking there, and I go. What more wanting? What more?